Hi guys, BSS Central here. Today we are here to talk about the most important thing of Battle Spirits Saga, so the flash timing and in general the battle step. So that moment of a duel when we can interact with our opponent. First of all, we have to see the four types of effects that we can have in a battle step. Let's start with the continuous effect. So this type of effect is usually introduced by the keyword during or while, and they are active from that moment and going on until the end step, usually. Then we have the immediate effect, so effect that are introduced by the word when, and also the trigger effect. So effect that usually has during as timing, but in the text of the effect usually have the specified condition that they want to be activated. The most famous trigger effect are burst effect that are specifically a triggered mechanic. So they have the specific timing in the red line in the top of the effect. The flash effect are characterized by the little lightning on the left, and usually as they specified if they can also be used in main or not. If they have only the flash keyword, they can only be used during flash timing. If they also have the main keyword, they can be also used in main step. Uh, the most popular flash effect are magic cards for now, but also some spirits as flash timing, as flash effect. For example, spirits with awaken effect. But in general, any type of card can has flash effect. Also Nexus, but for now we don't have that. So now we will go on the battlefield so we can see some example of a battle step. For example, I am the player in the low part of the screen with the red cards, and I have just finished my main step, and I have to declare the attack step. We cannot skip the phases. So at the end of the main step, we have to say attack step or battle step. In this moment, every effect that can be activated on the begin of on the beginning of the attack step has to be activated. For example, my opponent has the effect of mothership that say that at the start of the attack step he can place all core from the trash to the reserve, and so as soon I declare the attack step, he can activate this effect. When all these type of effects are activated and resolved, now it's time for me to decide if attack or not. The most simple scenario is, for example, that I say I don't want to attack, so end step, and my opponent begin his turn. But in a most complicated scenario, I decide to attack. So I decide which spirit attack first, and only one spirit at a time. We cannot do multiple attack like in the anime. So I decide to attack with Mago, and I exhaust it. In this specific moment, every effect that concern the attack of a spirit is triggered. So my Mago has the fact that I place 2 core from the trash to an spirit. So in the moment I exhaust that spirit, I use that effect, place 2 core and place on it. In the same moment, my opponent has the effect, for example, of Netherworld Depths. let's say he can draw a card, he draw one card when an opponent spirit has exhausted. Basically, these are contemporary effect. They activated in the same time, but is always the attacking player that decide the order with the effect got resolved. So I decided that my effect resolved first. For now, it doesn't make any difference, but in the future it can be. When I exhaust my Magwo, I use its effect, and my opponent use another word depth, so he can draw a card. Now we enter in the flash step 1. So the blocking player has now the priority, and check his hand, check his field, and decide if he want to play a flash effect or not. For example, he has a Rim in the hand and decide to play. So he declare flash. He put the card on the field. He pays the cost. So 5 with reduction, so 3 core, and immediately resolve the effect and decide that my Magwo come back to the hand, and the magic simply go to the trash. Now it's my turn to do a flash. I check again. I check my hand. I check my field, and I decide to use a magic. So in the same way, I put it on the field. I declare flash. I put it on the field. I pay the cost. In this case, 4. Whistle core. Core goes on the trash, and I resolve the effect. So I destroy a 6 BP or lower spirit, and I destroy Odin. That go to the trash, and the core go to the reserve, and my magic go to the trash. So now, if my opponent has more flash, he can again declare flash, put the card on the field, pay the cost, and etc. And the same I can do. This go on until both player declare no flash in a row. When this happens, the flash step 1 and the flash step 1 is closed, and in this case, my spirit that has attacked before is not on the field anymore. The attack simply goes to the void, and we can start with another attack. Okay, let's see another scenario. I have declared the attack with Mago, I have resolved my effect, my opponent has resolved his effect, and now in the flash step 1, both players simply declare no flash. They decided to not use flash. That is perfectly good. There are 2 types of scenario, so let's take the simpler scenario. My opponent decided to respond with life. So after he declared no flash and I declared no flash, my opponent say life. So 1 life go to the reserve, and the attack is over. If you want another flash step, we have to proceed with another attack. The last and most complicated scenario, I attack with Mago. I resolve their effect. I resolve its effect. My opponent resolve his effect, and then after the flash step 1, if my Mago is kept on the field, my opponent decide to block. So my opponent declares block with Odin in this case. As soon as Odin got exhausted for blocking, the effect with timing when block is activated. So in this case, Odin has the effect that bounce cost 3 or less spirits, and my spirit come back to the hand. Obviously, now if I have my netherworld depths, I can, for example, trigger its effect and draw 1 card. Obviously, is always the attacking player to decide the order of the resolutions of effects. After the clearing block and the resolution of the effect, now we have the flash step 2. That is perfectly the same of the flash step 1, with the difference that now there are 2 spirits that are battling. But the flash step itself is the same. So first my blocking opponent, so you can decide to use Dream Bomb. So declare flash, pay cost, and resolve the effect. And now my turn. I declare flash, pay the cost, and destroy this and resolve the effect. Now my spirit is not on the field anymore, so the attack again goes to the void. Okay, now I hope it is quite clear. If not, please ask me. Now we have to see some particular cases. For example, cases like Turborex. Turborex has the effect that at the start of the attack step, we have to select an opponent spirit and it must attack first. Like I said before, we cannot skip the phases. So if we have spirits able to attack and our opponent has Turborex, as soon as we end our main step and we have to declare attack step, the Turborex effect. Another particular case can be Confront. I have just made a video about. I simply say that Confront obligate our opponent to go in a flash step 2 if he has spirits on the field able to block and cannot respond with life. Now we see the most complicated scenario, I think, the most complicated case, I think, that is the target attack. So the effect of Palomides and Poison Mist are for now unique effect that enable us to select an opponent exhausted spirit and attack directly it. What does mean? It means that there is no time for flash step 1 because the resolves before the flash step. So as soon as the attack effect resolves, the spirits are already battling. So there is no time for flash step 1 and we have to do only flash step 2. So with the 2 spirits that are battling. Is a really strong effect because our opponent is not able to remove our spirit before blocking or before responding life. So is a direct attack on a single spirit. So for this video is all. I hope it is clear because it is a really important thing to play well at this beautiful game. We will see you to the next video. Please subscribe, comment, and like. Bye bye and ciao.